Hello, hello, welcome or welcome back. Let's sit back, relax, have a snack, and enjoy. Sit at My Grave, Season 4, Sanity or Salvation, Chapter 9. Loud whispering got Arthur back from his light rest. His eyes had been closed, and he was holding himself, wrapped in his coat like a makeshift blanket. His eyes darted around, being on alert now, unsure if it had been someone near him speaking, or if the voices came back. Being startled back into focus wasn't how he preferred it, but getting out of that uncomfortable old memory was likely for the best. Sir. Arthur saw the stewardess over him, looking a bit concerned. Yes, Arthur answered, sitting up. He saw her eyes linger on his face, frowning. First, he frowned back in confusion, but once again realized his bruises must look odd. Oh, it's time for lunch. We have 2 options, she explained. Arthur took a look around, noticing most everyone around him were eating, or at least drinking something. Even his seatmate, who kept mostly quiet, watching movies and listening to music. He must have been out for a while, Arthur thought, although he didn't feel any more rested. He'd been exhausted, but he could only lay there as his mind brought back his hazy old history, good and bad. The same storms he taught you not to be afraid of. Disrespect him, man. I remember painfully. Could almost hear the sound of wet skin being struck against his hand. Sir? The stewardess said once again, trying to gain his attention. What were the options again? Arthur asked. He should be grateful she didn't just give up and leave by now. But he had noticed. She began writing something on a small notepad. We are serving burgers and spaghetti, she announced once again. Arthur shrugged, not having much of an appetite. He was hungry and he knew his body was tired. But actually eating still didn't feel appealing to him. I'll have the burger. Is it included with the ticket I already bought? Arthur quickly asked. He already had a debt and didn't need to pile it on. These meals are included, yes. There are other meals if you don't like those 2, but that's for upper class. You can order them to here, though, with enough money, the stewardess explained. No, the burger's fine, Arthur agreed, swallowing nervously. The stewardess nodded. Coming right up, she agreed, patting Arthur's hand, which had been laying on the armrest before she slid away. Arthur's brows crinkled with the oddity before he looked down, seeing she left a note for him. Are you safe? If you are, order the apple juice. If you're in danger, order the strawberry juice. Arthur almost laughed at the irony. The meat mashed apart like grainy paste, soaking into the bread. The flavor, whatever it was, almost lost in too much salt. It wasn't good enough to be satisfying, but not horrible enough to puke up. A steady pace of disappointment, and just good enough. Arthur flushed down his food with water, almost forcing himself to finish his plate. He needed energy, and after all, it came with the ticket he purchased. Who was he to turn his nose away at any type of free reprieve? Ordering the apple juice seemed like the right thing to do. Why worry someone? He'd been so stressed lately, he didn't wish the feeling on anyone. Ordering either was too much for him. Was he safe? How should he know at this point? Or even care for that matter? He knew he wouldn't stay like this, but for right then, being bothered with his own safety felt gross. He was sure to give the stewardess back her note, though, marking with a simple, I'm okay, thanks. He didn't know if it was convincing, or if she would even care enough to further investigate, but he was done with the situation. Arthur put his tray away after finishing his uneasy food. He couldn't help but think back to the Neelys and the home-cooked meals there after a long day of farm work. If he stripped away what he was there for, it didn't seem so bad. He could get a lot of energy and a lot of bad thoughts out in that field. He had a chance to regulate himself, only taking advantage of those opportunities and not the people around him. The family was kind enough, not overbearing, and having Chrissy to talk to was a nice way to start or end any day. But what was he thinking? He had plenty of nice things at home, but not the capacity to appreciate them, Arthur thought bitterly. He didn't know if he'd ever call Chrissy. He wasn't even sure how he'd face his own family when he got there. It'll be difficult with what he had going on, but even more so with everyone under one roof. He wasn't looking forward to Reed's remembrance party, as much as he cared for Reed and missed him. Being in that setting just didn't feel right. They were all grieving Reed, but not everyone would be doing it the way he would. Arden shifted uncomfortably, bringing up old memories, talking about and to Reed. All of it would hurt, but he just didn't think he would feel right crying in front of his family. It would feel too slimy. However, with all the pressure lately, he wasn't sure if he would be able to hold it back anymore. That part scared him. How would everyone react if he broke down like that? He couldn't cause his mother any more pain than he already had. And what about his grandma? He was sure she was hurt seeing how her daughter and grandson's lives had turned out. Despite how tough she was, it wasn't fair to make her be the strong one again. Arden stopped briefly, humming to himself. He was thinking of other people's feelings completely, not much concerned over how he'd look in front of them. He convinced himself he was in the past. He wasn't a good person, but he knew he did care about the people around him, despite what his walls and puffed-up false ego said. He'd lost his way on how to show it properly, but he hoped he hadn't given up on him yet. How had he even gotten this way? He felt so detached from himself. He slumped in his chair. Sleep wasn't coming to him, so he continued writing in his journal, listening in on the people around him once again, trying to relax before he had to face everything.